Good morning, guys. How are we doing? Today, I'm going to do the weekly review. Late by one day. I normally like to do this on a Saturday or Sunday, but this was my weekend. I was away filming for the North Face, doing the second highest volcano in Indonesia. I'm in absolute agony right now. Honestly, my legs are just unbearable pain. And today is my wife's birthday. So I'm going to smash on. You know, life goes on, as they say. I'll crack on and move this down. We will talk about the trades we're currently in on the managed accounts and so on. We will also look at last week's data, followed by this week's data. Okay, so right here you can see this is oil. Excuse me. This is oil. We're currently up 635 points. We entered down here. This is potential of take profit. And I've got this running on the managed account. We also have a GBPNZD, which is running at 275 pips, not points, pips. I've moved the stop loss is now in profit. So even if the stop gets hit, it's still going to be in profit. And we're potentially going to hold it round to about this area. I've put it a little bit lower, but I mean, it's actually going to be around here where we're looking to hold it. Okay, but I've just put it lower for now. Excuse me. When it comes to oil, what may happen, because anything can happen, right? When markets tend to move, wait, I'll make this bigger. When markets tend to, do you know what? I'm going to do this on TradingView because it's much easier for you to see it on TradingView. Right, get rid of that. There we go. And right, there we are. So look, we're looking to hold it up to this region here, right? Areas of value. So when you see that you're a large profit, like on my other, this is my own personal account, which isn't attached to a MAM or anything. There we go. Look, I'm up around 5k-ish on that. So when you see this coming up here and you're in a good profit and you start to see it coming down, right? If this then starts to pull down, you start to think, oh, no, it's pulling back, and you want to panic and close, right? What you need to remember is, look, this right here, this is an area of retest, right? Which is retested and went away. Look, that is now an area of retest. So it may come back and retest that go. It may not. Look at what happened here. Look, boom, came when it was away up, came back for a retest, and away it went, right? Away up, came back, may come back for a retest, and away it goes, right? Now, this is the thing with trading. You can close partials, yes. I now don't. The way that I do it, I just don't. I do move my stop loss to like break even or thing moving. It's a good bit away, and I monitor how it reacts. One thing you shouldn't do is don't get carried away with being like a big profit in a swing trade, right? Excuse me. In a swing trade, when you know that your end target is up here and you're only down here just now, right? And then think, oh, I'm going to close it all and blah, 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 because it will fly. You know, look at this. You know, some people may have closed here and it just absolutely flew, and so on, right? Same here. Look, some people may have closed here with a flew. If this comes down here, some people would have closed in this candle, would have closed in this candle, and look, all that happened is it flew, pulled back again, and flew, right? That's the market needs to create liquidity in order to move, right? So when the market's going up, in a way, you kind of want to see it coming back down because it needs to come back down to create that liquidity, to make people enter sells, and then it will pull back, it will go long, it will hit all the stop losses, creating that liquidity, and it will give the market the liquidity where it can be able to move, okay? Excuse me. So, you know, you need to see pullbacks, right? But look, if we look on the weekly, look, hasn't even done anything. I mean, that's a beautiful weekly candle. Beautiful. So if you look at the weekly, right, and this starts to come back down here, that's just a normal move. Every time a candle closes, the candle comes back and then it goes. So you just need to remember that. This is normal for this candle here to pull down halfway and then go all the way up again, right? Totally normal. But if you keep closing early, you're never going to catch the big trades, right? Now, this may come back down here and stop me out at break even. And you go, oh my God, why did I close that? You know, why did I close this one at break even when it could have been $5,000? Don't think that way, because it's very often that it's very seldom, that it will come back, you know, and stop you out away down here if you get a good enough entry. It will pull back, but if you hold it, then you get the big trades. That's when you get the 10, 20, 30 grand trades, you know, of course, depending on the size of your account. But, you know, even if it's $1 grand, $2 grand, if it's a smaller account, that's when you get the big trades, right? You don't make more money entering more trades. You make more money entering a trade and letting it run, right? That's where you make the big money, and that's where a lot of people make the mistake. So if you look on the hourly, look right here. This right here is a perfect. This right here is a perfect imbalance, right? That's picture perfect. So is this. So is this. And even so is that right there. So make them back down, retest here, and away it goes again. You just need to prepare for that, right? So my stop loss now, I have moved it to just below here. So it's now at break even. I think some of them are in profit slightly, but if this comes back up, it will then come down. Don't shit your pants. It's a natural move. If it stops you out and then it starts to go in your way again, just re-enter the trade, But if it comes back down here, doesn't stop you out, then it will start to run again, right? You see what I'm saying? And just that will prepare you for letting trades run, right? It's very important because when you look on the hourly and this starts to pull back, because look, here's an area of interest here. Look, you see where it very well could give us a movement here, right? It's either going to reject or it's going to break through, pull, and away it goes, right? So let's look at that in the H4. There we go, look. So there is an area here where it could reject and pull back, build up more orders, and then go. It could absolutely do that, right? We never ever know. But that's it. We just ride it out because that's the trade. If we look on the daily and weekly, it still hasn't done anything, right? Especially on the weekly. We've only got one candle. Look, we want to hold this for weeks. So there's 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 5 weeks. You could hold that before you had to close, right? 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 5 weeks. So we're going to hold this for a good couple of weeks. So don't worry too much in a swing trade about what the hourly's doing, what the 30 minutes doing. You don't need to look at that. Just look between the daily, the weekly, and the 4 hour. All right. So that's it. Let's get that out of the way. There's all the accounts are up. Sorry, look. This one is my managed account. This one is my DarwinX account. That's already closed out a trade. I've still got this one on at 647. My personal account that I've just showed you is on there, and we also have the funded account thing, but I haven't loaded that up this morning. Pardon me, but I'm pretty sure that's still going. Well, it should be. And this is my mate's account. This is my mate Gendra's account. It's now at 938. When he gave me this account, excuse me, I think Gendra had started trading from like $2,000, and he took this account down to about $725 and then gave it over to me, and I've now built it up to 939. Now you might think, well, that's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money, but if you look at it in terms of percentage, that's absolutely phenomenal, right? That's incredible. In the last 6 weeks, that's a phenomenal percentage. It's more than what you get in banks. So you have to put things into perspective, right? Many people have small accounts and be like, oh, that's not a lot of money. You're right. If you're looking at it in terms of a monetary value, it's not a lot of money. But jumping from 725 to 938 is a fantastic return in terms of percentages, right? Excuse me. So let's have a look at what we've got here, guys. Usually I do it on Forex Factory, right? Let's see what it's like on here. Let's go to last week. Where are we? Previous week. Countries. So this is why this one's annoying, because you need to like untick all of them, So, okay, let's just do it. Australia, China, and New Zealand. I always do pairs individually, right? However, when it comes to doing these reviews, I always do Australia, China, and New Zealand together because they're all very closely correlated. Okay. Is that it? Do I need to hit save? I don't want to hit save, really, do I? Let's just try it. Oh, there we go. Turns out I did need to hit save. So let's have a look. For anyone that's new here, so if China is doing well and it's strong, it gives strength to the Aussie dollar. Okay, if China is not doing well, it gives weakness to the Aussie dollars because they're so closely correlated. I cover that in my video. more in depth, but that's the reason why they do a lot of business together, basically. So if China production is down, then of course they're not using as much steel, iron ore, nickel, blah blah blah. So then they're not ordering all of these resources from Australia. So it has a huge effect on Australia, right? That's basically how it goes in a nutshell. Same with New Zealand slightly as well. So let's have a look. Aussie, what do we have? So Judo Bank Services PMI final. So every country has services PMI and every country has manufacturing PMI, right? But not all countries are a services country or a manufacturing country. For example, France has services and manufacturing PMI. They all do. But France is a country which provides services. It's not known for manufacturing, right? However, Germany is a manufacturing country. It's not known for really providing services, although it does, but that's not its main bread and butter, okay? So here we have Aussie Judo Bank Services final PMI. The previous was 51.2. It's now 50.0. It was forecast at 50.8. So it's important to understand this, right? People that don't really know about fundamentals will simply look at the numbers and see that 50.4 is obviously less than 51.2, right? And they'll say, oh, it's weak. No, that's strong. It's still bullish. Anything above 50 is bullish. It's not weak. It's not bearish. It simply means things are slowing down, right? And it's came in a little bit worse than what they anticipated, okay? But it's still bullish. So you have to remember that. It just means things are slowing down, okay? And that's just for the month of July. You can see that says June. It's just for the month of July. So it's not like it's not a year on year or anything. It's just for the month of July, okay? Judo Bank Composite final PMI. So that's 49.9. That is now switched to bearish from 50.7. Even at 50.7, that's bullish. 49.9, that has now slightly switched to bearish, okay? Anything below 50 is bearish. Very important to understand that. Anything above 50 is bullish. TDMI inflation gauge 0.4. So inflation is up. So that's actually a little bit good for us. Actually, it's not good for the people, but inflation is good for traders. Case and services PMI 52.1. That's up for China, so that's good for the month of July. Remember, it's not a year on year. It just tells you right there July, so it's monthly. Case composite PMI 51.2. So that's slightly down. However, it's still bullish, right? So they're good numbers all in. Both of them are good numbers, which means also strong for USD. Good for USD. USD. Sorry, cancel. AUD. My bad. ANZ Indeed job ads. Let's have a look. -3, so that's not good. Building permits. Let me try and fly through this, guys, because I know it can be quite time consuming. Interest rates are the same. They haven't cut rates. That's okay. Maybe because the economy is still strong. You don't really want to be cutting when it's still strong. New Zealand global dairy trade is up. Okay. Employment change New Zealand quarter on quarter, that has increased dramatically from -0.2 to +0.4. So that's good. Unemployment rate has increased by 2 points. So that's not so good. Labour cost index is up. Labour cost index year on year is down. So it's really mixed data. This is what you call mixed data. There's nothing clear, right? It's not one's up, one's down, one's up, one's down. This is what you call mixed data, and this is where you get the ranges. You ever looked at a chart and it's just ranging and ranging and ranging? Like, why is this just ranging? This is why. It's because of data. Technicals move because of data, right? Participation rate 71.7 up. Okay, back to Oz. EU Group Industry Index 20.7, 25.6. So that's up. Sorry, that's up because it's minus. Group Construction. Okay. Nothing. They're all quite good. That's all quite good for the AUD. China balance of trade is down. Exports year on year 7%. That's down. Imports year on year is dramatically up. So, okay, that's decent. Foreign exchange reserves is up. Why is euro in there? I'm sure I took that off. RBA. Willock's speech, okay. NZD business inflation 2%. So inflation has decreased. And it looks like, naturally, inflation rate year on year, China is up, okay. Inflation rate month on month is up, that's good. PPI year on year is, it's the same, but it's still a negative. Vehicle sales year on year is down. So again, you're getting very mixed data here for Chinese as well, okay? So very unclear. AUD for me just now. AUD is still in that kind of strong bracket. I'll wait to get my notepad and pen. AUD is still in that kind of strong bracket, all right? It's still doing quite well, in my opinion. I certainly don't think it's one of the strongest pairs, but it's doing well. So what I forgot to say at this beginning of the book, the beginning of the video, which I normally do, is I get a notepad and pen out. I write down strong, weak, and neutral, okay? Like this. Not strong, neutral, and weak. Strong, weak, and then neutral. The reason being, when we have once we get to the end, whatever's neutral, we score it out. Whatever is strong and weak, we match them up, and that's the pairs you trade. You trade a strong economy against the weak economy. That's how you make the money. It's like what you've seen with the markets crash and everything right now, right? What they were doing was they were doing what's called the carry trade. So all these big banks and traders and so on, what they were doing is buying the yen, because the yen was at negative interest. So the interest to pay back on the yen was like tiny. It was almost no interest to pay back on the yen, right, if you borrowed it. So all these big banks were borrowing the yen, buying like American bonds and buying into the stock market, etc., with it, with like 5% yields, and then paying back the Japanese yen with zero interest. So they were making all this money and paying back with zero interest. But now, because Japan increased rates by total 25 base points over the last two increases, that carry trade is now on its arse. So they're now all losing money, and that's why all the markets are coming down. It's not because of, there's a recession, markets are crashing. It's not because of that. It's because the carry trade's now fucked, because the Japanese government have now increased rates. So that previous rate, when they were borrowing all this Japanese yen with zero interest, they were putting it into yield, they were putting it into bonds and all these other markets and investments, getting all this huge return and then paying back the Japanese at zero interest. That's now on its arse, because they've now put the interest up. So that's why everyone's flapping, and that's why you're seeing the markets all crashing and stuff just now, right? It's not a crash, it's just they're all like, shit, we need to get rid of this quick before it bites us, right? But everything will come back around. We just need to see how it plays out, right? So let's just quickly mark down. AUD for me is still strong. It's still strong in my books. NZD, I think, is still weak. I don't think that would really ever be strong for me for quite a while. Excuse me. And of course, China, we don't have to write down China, because we don't trade Chinese currency. We only look at it because it has a huge effect on AUD and NZD. Okay. Also, USD affects AUD. So if China and AUD are positive correlation, right? If China is up, AUD is up. If China is down, AUD is down, right? They're positively correlated. They move with each other in alignment. AUD and USD are negative correlation. So when USD, the US dollar, is strong, the Australian dollar is weak. When the US dollar is weak, the Australian dollar is strong. Okay, so they're negative correlation. They move polar opposites from each other. Okay, another important thing to note down. I know I say the same stuff every week. We never know who's watching this for the first time, right? Because we keep getting new students, so we never know if this is the first video we're watching, guys. So my apologies if you hear this all the time. However, it is good if you hear it all the time, because at least it drums it into you that this is what we're doing, right? Because it's very important. The markets is just the same thing over and over again. So now, let's have a look. This is where it gets confusing on trading economics, because you need to go through it all. Right, we've just done Australia, we've done China, blah, blah, blah. What else have we got here? Let me have a look, guys. Okay, let's just do Euro, because it's the next one. Euro, France, G20, Germany. Let's have a look. We don't really care about Spain and Italy, but I will do them all the same. Where is Spain? Spain. Where is Italy? There we go. Excuse me. So we don't really care about Spain and Italy when it comes to the euro. The only ones that we do really care about is France and Germany, okay? But if there is a year-on-year reduction, that's quite good to know, right? So we do like to see, that's why I put it in. It's better to have a look at it and not need to know it than need to know it and you haven't looked at it, okay? So here we have Spain at the top. Year-on-year industrial production is up, so that's good for the euro. ACOB services PMI is 53.9. Again, people who don't understand how to read fundamental data, they will look at that and they'll say, oh my God, it's dropped from 56.8 to 53.9. That's weak. That's weak. No, it's not weak. It's above 50. Anything above 50 is bullish, strong. Okay. It just means that things have slowed down. That's all it means. Things have eased off a little bit, but they're still, they're still up there. They've still got enough petrol to get to the next stop, if you know what I mean. Composite PMI, same again. It's dropped. However, it's not weak. It's still bullish. So fantastic. Italy, HCOB services PMI. Again, it's still above 50. It's dropped, but it's above 50. So when you're seeing that they're all still in this space of bullish, right? But the numbers are all dropping, and they're all dropping together. It's not giving you that kind of mix. I mean, we might see mixed in a moment, but it's not really giving you that mixed just yet. But if all numbers come down across all countries, it starts to give you that picture that you need to build up, like, Euro's been strong for so long. Maybe Euro's going to start to get some weakness now. Maybe they're going to cut rates next month. Maybe they're going to do this. Maybe this is going to happen, And it starts to give you the picture. It's like when a roller coaster goes up, right? It goes ting, 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 ting. You know what I mean? That's what kind of the Euro's doing right now. This is how you have to kind of imagine it in your mind, because it really does help you. And as it comes up and it's getting to those last couple of clinks and you're just about to go over, and then you'll start to see data going below. It goes from 53.4 to 47.9, and they all start coming in low. Then they'll cut rates, and then Euro will start taking a dive over a long period of time. And then you start selling it, against like Euro GPY or Euro USD and stuff like that. You start selling that pair. You know what I mean? This is how it goes, guys. But for now, everything is still strong with the Euro, especially from last week's data. It was phenomenal. So it's actually strong for me now. That's just one weakness. And that is composite final PMI. That's okay. France services PMI is actually increasing, so that's good. It's now bullish. HACOB PMI final 52.5. It's slight decrease, but it's bullish. Composite PMI final, excuse me, that's bearish. A decrease, but overall the euro is bullish. Composite final 50.2, still bullish. PPI MOM month on month is up. PPI year on year is up. It looks like down, but remember that's a minus, so it went from minus 4 to minus 3, so that's actually went up, right? Don't need to worry about them. Factory orders month on month have dramatically increased. That's good, because Germany is a manufacturing country, right? So we want to see that increase. That's fantastic. Non-farm payrolls 1%, that's decreased. HCOB construction PMIs roughly set still bearish. Construction PMI 39.7, that's not good for France. It's really not good. Construction PMI 40, again, these are not good numbers for the Eurozone, but they're not services. They're just a small piece of the pie. They're not massively. Retail sales month on month is dropped. Retail sales year on year is dropped. Okay. So you're starting to see some real weakness in these type of numbers, but overall, with this, these numbers are phenomenal, guys. This is super strong. So it's kind of given a lot of this resilience to the euro right now. Okay. Let's just have a quick look. Industrial MOM imports. Okay, exports, foreign exchange reserves, imports. Okay, so these are all decent. These are all decent numbers. Some of them are a bit less, but it's not the end of the world. Unemployment rate 7.3. Unemployment rate has decreased slightly, but unemployment 7.3 is pretty bloody high. Inflation rate month on month has increased slightly. We like inflation as traders. Inflation rate year on year is increased by 1. That's still, again, that's strong for Germany. So you can see like these negative numbers aren't having an effect on the actual, the economy side of it, because these numbers are still going up. Harmonized inflation rate up. Yeah, I'm just going to fly through this, guys, because it's a bit monotonous going through every single thing. I can just see it. Yeah, it's good. So you want to mark down on your sheet now, euro is strong. It's definitely in a strong category for me, okay? Now, what do we want to do now? It's weird because I normally do this on Forex Factory, which is much easier on the eye than selecting all these bloody countries like this. So after euro, what we can do CAD, Canadian dollar. Let's see. Okay, balance of trade, it's up slightly, exports up slightly, imports up slightly. S&P Global is negative, massively negative PMI, massive negative PMI. I mean, it's, yeah, horrible. So the Canadian dollar is super weak right now. It's not strong. When you see if it looks as if Canadian dollar is getting strong, it's because oil is going up. The Canadian dollar is very closely pegged to oil. So if oil goes up, it pulls the Canadian dollar with it. But overall, the Canadian economy is very weak. Excuse me. Ivy PMI 57.6. That's okay, but it's getting worse, right? 5-year bond auction wars. Unemployment rate is very high, 6.4%. Employment change, minus 2.8k. It's getting worse. So unemployment is sky high, and employment is super low. It's getting even lower. So it's terrible. Average hourly wage has decreased year on year, so that's not good. Full-time employment change, 61 points. So that's up. Part-time employment change has dropped massively. Building permits. So yeah, this is really, really shit for the Canadian dollar. Okay. You know what I should have done? Actually, I should have looked at next week. See what we've got coming up. Sorry, it should be this week. Building permits, new motor vehicles, wholesale month on month, housing starts, foreign securities purchases. Okay, we don't really have a lot. We've got manufacturing sales month on month. Nah, we don't really have a lot of news for Canadian dollar this week. All right, I should have done that for all pairs actually, so I will go back and do that. It's because I'm using trading economics for the first time doing the review. I normally don't do my review on here, guys. I'm finding it much easier on Forex Factory for the review. However, you get far more information on here. That's why I thought, you know what, bugger it, let's give it a blast. So where am I now? Canada, CHF, so Swiss franc. Where are we? Swissy? Switzerland, okay. I mean, there's never really any change here, but we always have to look at it, right? Unemployment rate, 2.3%. Retail sales year on year, minus 2.2. Retail sales month on month, minus again. So it's a little bit of weakness there. Foreign exchange. Consumer confidence is very low. So that's you don't really get much news for the CHF, but it's not very good news at the moment. It's always a very safe haven currency, though. Producer report, prices. I mean, we can have a look at that. It's not very impactful or important. For me, CHF is neutral. And sorry, Canadian dollar is weak. CAD is weak. Okay, so just a quick summary just now. Strong AUD euro, weak New Zealand Canadian dollar, and neutral CHF for now. Okay. Let's look at previous week. And what country do we want to do now? We've done Swiss. What comes after CHF? Let me think. Pound sterling. Let's go for that. I've already done the Eurozone. United Kingdom. So, pound is strong still. Let's have a look at what we got last week. New car sales year on year is up. Global services PMI is up. Composite PMI final is up. Fantastic, 52.8. These are all fantastic numbers. Not only is it above 50, but they're also increasing, which is bloody fantastic, right? Pound's showing some real strength there. Retail sales monitor year on year, is up. Global construction is up. Treasury, slightly lower, that's fine. Global supply chain pressure, that's all right. Halifax Price Index, that's good, that's up. That means more people are getting approved mortgages. That means the banks are spending more money. That means the banks are more risk on. They're wanting to take more risk, which means buys for that economy, right? Halifax House Price Index year on year, 2.3. 5-year Treasury gilt auction, 3854. Mortgage rate, okay. Pound is fantastic for me, okay? Bloody fantastic. Let's have a look at this week, what we got. Bloody hell, we've got loads of news this week. So this is a massive news, a massive week for news for the GBP. Unemployment rate, okay? Unemployment average earnings. I'm not going to cover these all, all right? I'm not going to bore you to tears. You get the point. You can look at it yourself. We've got tons of news here. PPI input. So it's a very good week to be careful with the pound, okay? I am in a pound NZD trade right now. Let me have a look at where my stop loss and stuff is. Okay, so it may come down, it may push down slightly, get to around this area here. We can see this little imbalance, boom, may get to here, and then bang, it will just absolutely fly, right? Let's see. It may be all negative news, and it will bring it down to this region right here, which would be fantastic, because then we can close out, okay? I'm not going to close the trade. Even if it closes out, it's still up in profit $100. Yeah, it's better than a kick in the balls. And we're going to build this account. This one here is the MAM account. Sorry, the PAM account's a 56k account so far. I'm going to build it up every week. With these trades, these are a little smaller because what I was doing was I explained in the other video. Every broker's different. So when you enter a trade on iQuoto, I had to check how they fill the order, and they do it one contract at a time. Whereas if I look here at Darwin X, if you enter an oil trade, they fill that with 1,000 contracts at a time. So they enter contracts 1,000 times more than here, right? Sorry, I know it's the wrong bloody thing, but you get my point. Let me just see. Here it is. They enter contracts at 1,000. So when I enter oil here, it opens one contract for me. When I open oil here, it opens 1,000 contracts for me based on the same lot size, right? So obviously many brokers are different. I had to check that first before I started going nuts. That's why this oil trade could have been much more if I traded higher, but I had to test the waters first, okay? Very important to do that, especially when you're trading other people's money. You need to make sure that you know how the system is set up, first of all, before you start going tonto and start making big money, all right? Very important. Do not focus on making money. Focus on getting the trades correct. And the money is just a byproduct, I'm telling you, right? Let's move on, guys. So pound for me is definitely strong, GBP. However, this week, I will not be entering any new pound trades until this week is over. Okay, this is a look at that. It's just this is going to be a very messy week for pound. It could come in strong, it could come in weak. We really don't know. You need to wait and see. Nobody knows, right? So right now, pound is strong. I don't see it getting weaker, but let's see. What you may find is these numbers come in weak for this week, and then it will give like weakness to the pound, bring it down to even better levels to buy from, and then the following, next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, all that data will come in strong and give it that data to push it flying up, where people have been able to get in from this bad data at a great area of value. Okay, sometimes that happens, so we need to bear that in mind. All right. And after pound, what do we have? We have USD. Let me see. Oh, sorry. So I want to look at last week first of all, previous week. So you want to give yourself that overall image, right? You want to be like a kind of a vulture looking down and seeing the whole landscape. That's the way you need to begin looking at this. Or you could say like a detective. They have those pin boards. They have all lined up and they're looking at the board thinking, right, who done the murder? Well, it's the same kind of thing with the markets, right? You need all the information in front of you, and you can't just look at one or two things and be like, oh, this is strong, bloody hell. You need to look at everything and you need to piece it all together. That's what makes it a little bit difficult. It is a lot of work, and that's why most people just bin off learning fundamentals and they think, oh, I'll just draw lines on my chart and fucking, make 10 grand a month. you can make some money doing technicals, but I promise you, if you put the work in and you do the fundamentals, you can make a lot more money. S&P Global Composite PMI final, yeah, strong. So everyone's like, oh, the USD's crashing. It's not crashing. USD's still the number one economy right now. It ain't fucking crashing, let me tell you that. All this, BRICS, it's all bullshit, right? Don't get trapped in with that. When you hear this negative bullshit on the news, that's to make the market come down, because it knows people like retail traders don't have a clue about what they're talking about. So it makes the market crash through them panicking. Fear and greed is what moves the markets, right? They create fear on the news. Bloody hell, there's a recession, there's this or that. All the retailers shit their pants, right? They'll see that guys like Warren Buffett are selling all their stocks and blah, blah, blah. They'll shit their pants. This all makes the market crash. What then happens? Warren Buffett then has double the amount of shares and all this other stuff that he could have had previously, but it was too expensive before. So he sells half his stuff. The world goes into panic about a recession and blah, 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 or the data does not show you a recession here. That is not recession data, guys. And what happens? A month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, whatever, Warren Buffett can then buy double the amount of stock that he sold for a fraction of the price, right? Because you've all shit your pants. He strategically sold his shares. You sold your shares because you shit your pants, right? That's the difference, guys. These people are eagles, and retail traders are pigeons, just, flapping in the wind, hoping for the best. These guys know what they're doing. S&P Global Composite PMI, strong. Right, I don't need to spend too much time on this because I tried to keep these videos about 45 minutes if I can. It's phenomenal, guys, right? USD is bloody strong, right? It ain't crashing. Let's have a look. Let me fly through this. Slightly down, up. I mean, come on. What else do you want? Crude oil imports, up. See, it's going up. That's what the price of oil is going up. Blah, blah, blah. Let me just check this, lads. Jobless claims 4-week average has increased. Counting jobless claims has increased. Initial jobless claims has decreased. Okay. So the job thing is something to notice, because that's not good news. Everything else is great, guys. Everything else is bloody great in the USD, honestly. It's the strongest economy here right now. All this fear and blah, 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 it's just bollocks to make you react. This week, bloody hell, we've got a massive week. Is this NFP week? No, it's not. Last week was NFP, surely. Yeah, last week was NFP. I must have missed it because I was away climbing bloody volcano. Let me see. Right, so we've got PPI this week, core PPI. That's good. We need that data as well. We definitely need that data. You can see, look, this week is a massive news week for the USD, okay? Massive. We've got retail sales month on month, jobless claims, Philly, manufacturing. This is a huge week for USD. So for me, USD is strong, guys. USD is strong. I ain't changing my mind on that. You couldn't say that's weak. There's no fucking way. Stevie Wonder can see that is a strong economy, okay? All that stuff in the news about this and that, it's all bollocks to make people frightened. Fear sells in the market. Greed buys in the market, right? That's it. The retail traders are the bait, right? They're the bait to catch the big fish, to catch the big money. That's what they do. Sorry, not category. Countries. I think now we're just Japanese yen, right? I don't even know why I bother. We know the Japanese yen's fucked. However, it's still good to have a look. I want to look at last week first. So that was quite good. That's quite good. But we know that they're interfering, right? The Bank of Japan are interfering. We know why this is coming strong and good. It's not real info. It's not real data, right? You need to kind of know that. Average cash earnings year on year is up. So the amount of money that people are earning each year has actually doubled. That's quite good. Household spending has increased slightly month on month, but household spending, yeah, it's still increased year on year. It's still minus, but it's increased. Overpay year on year is up. Sorry, overtime pay. Foreign exchange reserves, coincidence index, leading economic, current account, bank lending year on year is the same. Foreign bond investment has dropped because they sold some bonds. So that's what they did last week. They sold a bunch of bonds. I think it was like 60 billion or something crazy in bonds, and that's what made the markets go nuts. Or they invested, they kind of sold bonds and invested 60 odd billion, sorry, and it made the markets go crazy. Right, so it's still not good. I mean, you can't just look at that one bit of data and say it's good, right? It's not good. Those are good numbers, the 52, but that's one piece of the puzzle out of a huge piece of a huge jigsaw, right? Again, we've got a lot of news this week for Japanese yen. So it's going to be a good week, guys. We really need this week to see what's happening. For me, Japanese yen, I'm still putting in the weak category. There is nothing strong about that for me. Let me just quickly jump back to countries because I need to do. I'll do Euro, Germany, G20, France, Euro area, Italy, Spain. Where are you? Right, let's do the Eurozone for this week, right? Because I forgot to check this week, I think. We've got a lot of news coming up. We do have a lot of news. So this is another big week for news. So let's see what happens, right? I won't be diving into any more trades, but I wouldn't say that I won't take any. If they hit my zones, then yeah, of course I'll take them, right? But I need to see some data first. So let's have a look at what we're in just now, if there's any new pairs. So just to summarise as well, strong, weak and neutral. So strong, make a note, Aussie dollar, Euro, Pound sterling and USD. They are strong, okay? Weak, New Zealand, Canada, Japanese yen. Neutral, Swiss franc, okay? I'm going to leave this oil running well. I'm just going to leave it. What else are we in? GBPNZD. We're currently in a sell. I want to take it down, one of these areas. Let me get rid of that. Let me take it down to this area, or even better still, this area, right? This is where I've got my take profit down here. However, I've got it, in this region here. However, I will be monitoring it when it gets down here because it is an area of rejection. Okay, so that's need to monitor that here. I would like to see it come down here though. Look, this is what we predicted previously, either here and here or here and here, and this is what it's done here, and away we go. Let's just look through the pairs, see what we've got, because I was away for the end of last week. AUD CAD. Right, look, I marked up for a buy, but I did say I wasn't buying it. But it did, look, yet again, it has panned out. But I did say I wasn't buying it. I just don't like it. It's just not nice. AUD CHF, look, here's one that we already had it marked out. If you watched last week's video, again, I did say I wasn't buying it because I'm doing the managed account, right? You could buy it from here. This would be a hedge trade, and you could then ride it up. You could. I'm just rigid, absolutely rigid, guys, on sticking to my rules when I'm managing other people's money. I never break my rules when I'm managing other people's money. So therefore, this would be a counter trend trade, right? I don't counter trend trade other people's money. What I would do is if I was going to trade this pair, I would be waiting until it either hits here, or even, hits one of these areas up here. And then I'll be taking it for a sell. So it may be, it could be months before I even take a trade on this, okay? What I've done was I marked it up, and I did mention if you guys want to take this, you can take this trade, but I ain't touching it, right? And you can see it panned out again. Yet again, it's panned out. AUD Japanese yen has came down. I don't know if that's going to be the main move. I mean, look, it's came into our area yet again, guys, right? It's fucking phenomenal. So because the way the markets are the way they are, you could enter that. That's a greedy entry, right? It's a high risk because it may come here, it may just absolutely melt, down to here. It's a high risk entry, but you can see it has worked out for now. What I'd really be waiting for is you want to see the markets clear up a bit. Even last week, the Bank of Japan were posting on their index page and stuff, their news page. They don't know what to do. They themselves, the Bank of Japan, are like, shit, what do we do now? Because they're at a kind of checkmate. They're like, ugh, this isn't good, you know? A lot of their options aren't good. So they're kind of like, what the fuck do we do here? So if the Bank of Japan is confused, i.e. the government of Japan is confused, then you don't want to be entering trades on Japanese currency, right? You want to be waiting out. So I'm just simply waiting out, guys. I maybe pull up, see a bit of resistance here, and then goes, and then you could enter it right here. But I'm just waiting. I need to see something solid first, right? I'm not someone who's going to take these riskier trades. I do mark it up though, because if you want to take it, you can gladly take this, okay? AUD USD again, look, hit the marked up zones and away it is. It's a shit trade, I wouldn't take it. I just want to show you though how often these zones hit. Look at that. Look. Liquidity grab, away you go. We already had it marked up, guys. Do you know what I mean? It's phenomenal. It is phenomenal. All that is a liquidity grab, that's all it is. And that'll probably melt into here now. Well, Euro is so this is the thing. Euro is strong and AUD is strong. So what you get is this is why you've got this range right here, right? It's just going up, down, up, down. You've got this tight range. That's because both pairs are strong. We do not trade strong against a strong. We only trade strong against the weak, right? Euro CAD is a strong against the weak, so you'd be looking at buys. However, you can't buy it yet. It's in an area of value to sell from, but you can't sell it because the euro economy is far stronger than Canadian economy. So it would be suicide to sell this, right? Unless you're a risky trader and you want to take the hedge, you could take the hedge, okay? But it's not a good trade. The good trade is you wait for this to come back down here. Hit this area. I'm going to just draw this up. You wait for this to come down here, hit this area, and then away it goes, right? That's the best trade here, not this. I've only drew the red up so that you could see it, right? But it's not the best trade. Likewise, if it breaks above here and comes here, this could be your entry. However, personally, again, I wouldn't be taking this. Why? Because you've got all this area of resistance and mess up here. It just hasn't broken it. Is it worth taking a trade from here to here? For me, no, it's not. So again, it's not something I'd be interested to trade, but I will always mark it up so you guys always have the option, okay? Euro CHF again, look, hit a zone, rejected, liquidity grab, away it goes. It'll probably come up to about here. Don't know if I'll bother entering it. I don't think I will because it's counter trend. I don't like it. You can trade it. I mean, you can trade counter trend. I just don't like it. It's not. I only do trend trades. I would rather wait. Again, this is pretty shitty, but you can see it's always hitting our zones, right? I wouldn't bother touching it. Euro USD, both are strong. That's why you're getting this big horrible range, because both pairs are strong. Euro Japanese yen, look, bang in the zone, and away it goes. You know, it's phenomenal. And not entering this yet. I want to see some guidance this week to see what happens numbers wise. You haven't missed the trade. It will pull back and then go. You just need to wait, right? Be patient. Euro NZD, that would be buys for me. So it's either going to break above here, go, then I would enter here, and away you go. And you could take it up to this high. Or you wait for it to hit here, come back down for the retest. Good area of value, and away you go. Even better still down here, you know. But that's the trades. Still nothing there. GBP AUD, already marked this up for the sell, but I don't like it because GBP is strong and AUD is strong. So all you're going to get is this. You're just going to get this. Bing, 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 bing. You're just going to get ranging. So where you're going to be like buying or selling from, right? If you're going to enter sells, I personally would be looking for this break below, retest, enter here, and away you go. That's your entry right here. All this you just ignore, okay? And it's the same with buys. If you were going to buy it, you'd be waiting. You could either buy it here and take it from here to here. I wouldn't, because I don't trade ranges. I think it's bullshit. Or I'd be waiting for the route to break above, come back, retest, enter here. That's your entry, and away you go. Okay, that's the only two trades there. Entry here, entry here. Anything outside of that is white noise. Do not get trapped by it, all right? Pound CAD. Pound is strong, CAD is weak, but you can see it's pulling down just now. It's because oil is obviously giving the CAD some strength, right? But you would never sell this pair in a gazillion years. The British economy is phenomenal. The Canadian economy is dog shit. So you're only looking at buys, right? I'd really like to buy down here, to be honest with you. It could come here, blah blah blah. You know, everything's a shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? This is an area here. It could come and then fly, but I don't like it. I wouldn't enter a buy here. It's way too overvalued, and there's no value to buy it from here. Again, and I'm going to use the Rolex example. It's like if you bought a Rolex 2 years ago, you would have paid like 29 grand for that watch. If you try and sell it now, you wouldn't get 16 grand for it, right? That's how much they've crumbled because people were buying them when they were too overvalued. That's exactly what you're doing here. If you're buying from this area, right? It's too overvalued. So you're either doing something, i.e., doing a counter trend because you can't buy it yet. You need to buy it down here. So you're either going to sell and do the counter trend, or you're going to do nothing. So I'm going to do nothing, right? Because my value area to buy is this area here. Anything outside this market coming back down and hitting here is white noise, and I don't care about it, right? That's the way you have to look at it. Again, look, guys, GBP CHF hit the zone and away. How many times now have you now seen this come back and hit our zones over the weeks? Not even just in this video, right? Over the weeks. How many times have you seen this come back and hit my zones and go? It's because they're areas of value. I'm not a wizard. I don't have a crystal ball. It's because banks use and large institutions use areas of value. It's very, very important. Banks and institutions would rather die than pay a bad price to get in. They would literally rather die. Okay, they won't do it. So you need patience. If the bank's willing to wait for currency to get to a certain value, you need to wait. Bang on. I mean, there's a lot of news this week, so I will be I'll be waiting out to see what happens. GBPNZD, we're already in this trade. Look, boom, boom, boom. Right. It's not a fantastic trade. It's a trade. It's making some money. It's not one that I would be doing cartwheels over, right? And it's a counter trend trade because pound is super strong and NZD is weak. It's a free trade, so I've entered that now. Sorry, I've already entered that, but we entered it literally right at the very top, and it had a really good risk to reward ratio. That was why I still entered it, and I only entered it small, like tiny on the PAM account. Pound USD, both of them are strong, so I wouldn't trade it. I don't trade strong, weak, neutral. I only trade strong against weak. NZD USDs, you're looking at sells here, but you need to wait for it to hit an area of value, which is going to be up here somewhere. So you just need to wait. You'd never buy this, because if you're buying this, you're saying that the New Zealand economy is stronger than the US economy, right? And it isn't. So you wouldn't buy it. NZD, Canadian dollar. Again, I wouldn't touch it. You know why we're looking at it. Shit. Here we go again. USD CAD. There we go. Look, there's another one. It's bang in our zones. Let me just clear this up because this is just different lessons. But you've got a really tight zone here. I don't like it. We really need to break. And the USD economy is far stronger than the Canadian economy. So you wouldn't really be looking at sales. This is just me showing people that when it gets to here, you could sell it, right? And you can see you could, because that's the weekly. That's the weekly time frame. Look, this is the daily. So look, you could have sold that, right? I just wouldn't, because you're going against the economic data. USD is strong, Canada is weak. On USD Canada, that means it's buys, right? You're just looking for buys. So you'd never buy from here, but you could sell from here doing a counter trend trade. I would never do it, right? USD Japanese yen, look at that, look. Another one, bang in the zone. Phenomenal, like absolutely phenomenal. USD CHF, bang in the zone, right? Comes back, retests. Sometimes, like I say in my video, sometimes it test the tip. Sometimes it pulls a little bit deeper. Sometimes it breaks through down here, gives liquidity grab, and then goes. You never know. But that is the trade, guys. That is it. Look, it's bang in our area. And away it goes. And that's pretty much it. So I'm in no rush to enter anything as of yet, okay? I'm just letting my other trades play out. I'm letting them run. And that is it for now, guys, right? There's no new markups. If you're watching this on any other platform, on YouTube or whatever, and you're not a member of the Trading Guys, where we give full education, I'll show you right now. Look, we have a trading chat. We have beginner videos right here. We have swing trade education. I've got a couple of podcasts there for mindset, but I've got swing trade education videos in here. Trade reviews. Every time we take a trade, I go into a trade, we do trade reviews. I do live trading, so every single time I'm going to actively enter a trade, I will literally trade my accounts right in front of your face. They're live accounts. Look, they're all live. They're not funded or anything. These are live. That one's a thing to get clients. This one's live, and my other live is here as well. And there is a funded one, but I very rarely bring it up just now, unless I'm going to show you something, right? What else? Let me think. That's pretty much it. We offer a full month completely free, guys. Completely free for a month, right? And after that, it's only £97 a month. I'm going to show you here. Where is it? Wait, and I'll show you. Where is trading chat? There we go. Trade results. Look. Look, these are our students. Look at that. Now, bearing in mind, we charge £97 a month. He's up profit £3,000. Pat's is up £602. This is in one day. Look, right there, it says day. He's up 602 quid in one day. And we charge £97 a month, right? It's a no-brainer. He's now secured 50%, 253. That was on another day. Look, 200 quid on the 7th, 600 quid on the 8th, right? There's Reese on oil, 225. Pat's again. Big Brian, look at that. Unreal. Suresh, Alex, 112. Alex normally does big ones as well. But you get the point, right? Look at all of our students, right? It's phenomenal. So you can come and join us for a month completely free. www.thetradingguys.com. www.thetradingguys.com. And if you're watching this on Facebook, the link will be above. And if you're watching this on YouTube, the link will be below in the description. Okay, guys, let's have a great week. Take care.